Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone. And welcome to our last Braveheart Nation show of the year. Okay, so we're going to be actually closing down our last Braveheart Nation show and talking about Christmas. So just understand that the lines are open today. So if you've got questions about Christmas, whether it be diet or whether it be on an emotional issue, now's the time to call. Okay, and I will do my best to give you the best answer that I possibly can. Okay, so welcome to Braveheart Nation, a Doc of Detox show, and the topic today is called "How to Thrive Christmas and New Year's." How to be a thriver, okay? Because guess what? Most of your family are not going to be a thriver. Come the new year, they're going to be exhausted and burnt out because they don't know when to say yes and they don't know when to say no and they don't know when to keep their mouth shut. Otherwise, you know what? Somebody makes something, they go ahead and eat it. Somebody says, hey, you want a drink? They go ahead and drink it, okay? This is the most toxic time of year. Jesus, isn't that a song? No, that's not. That's something else. Okay. Anyways, but this is the most toxic time of year. This is when if you are someone and you have a chronic illness, which means that you have high inflammation in your body, and you put alcohol in there, you put sugar in there, you put all these flour products in there, you're probably going to put yourself in the hospital, or you're going to make yourself deathly ill. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something. And we're going to keep on coming back to this and coming back to this and coming back to this. Okay? It's all about self-love. It's all about loving yourself enough and loving the body that you've been given by your creator and making conscious decisions. Are you going to be conscious this Christmas? Or are you going to be unconscious this Christmas? Some will be unconscious this Christmas, I'm sure. They're going to eat everything, drink everything, and they're probably going to say things they wish they didn't say because they've been drinking everything. So the reality is that Christmas is not just the time when we throw the diet out the window, but this is when we get to have that big test. What's the big test? The big test is your emotions. We came down on this planet to actually learn how to master our emotions. And at Christmas time, you get to see if you're the master of your emotions. This is like, you get to see what you've done all year. Have you done any real work on yourself? Have you erased old beliefs and dysfunctional beliefs and brought in new ones? Or are you going to be that same person? So understand something. Are you going to be a drama queen? Are you going to get deathly ill? Are you going to get really lonely? Are you going to be miserable that you don't get your way? Are you going to be really picky about everything and everybody being on time? This is when you see if you can become the present. That's right. Can you stay present? Can you live in the present? Because isn't that what Christmas is all about presents? So are you going to have presents? Are you going to stay in the present? Are you going to be connected to that? And are you going to learn to just let go? I don't mean just let go of everything, let everything go crazy in your life, but are you just going to let go? See where you're too wound up, too tight, okay? So before we start our little talk here about Christmas, I want to tell everybody that if with any of our Doc of Detox shows, if you can't watch them live, you can go to docofdetoxshow.com or you can go to our Doc of Detox YouTube channel. And if you go to the YouTube channel, guess what you can do? On our YouTube channel, you have the option of using closed caption, where the spoken words will come on the screen in the language of your choice. That's right. So if you know somebody in a different language, you'd like them to watch one of our shows, you can let them know about this and they can put it in a different language and they can actually slow the video up because, as we can see, sometimes I speak too fast, right? So also, for if you're interested, on a side note, we have what's called the Christmas Crunch for the next 24 hours. If you purchase over $249, then we will send everything out by express shipping, okay? If you're one of those late buyers and you want to give somebody the gift of health, all right? So, everybody has different names for Christmas, and some people call it just the holidays, some people call it Hanukkah. So no matter what religion you are or what faith you are, we all know one thing, you know, Christmas is a time of giving, it's a time of love, right? Well, let's put it this way. Make sure that when you're giving that you're not giving too much of yourself that you're going to drain yourself out, okay? And the thing is that, you know, I love to give just as I love to serve. I mean, to want to be a health practitioner, you really do want to serve, right? So, giving is a beautiful thing, but especially the women out there, if I could say this, watch out that you don't give too much of yourself. You know, the decorating, okay? The cooking of the food, the going out and shopping, the cleaning up the house. Make sure, okay, that you love yourself enough that you're going to orchestrate things and get the rest of the family involved and start getting everybody else to do things. You know what? I see it all the time. Women will exhaust themselves, okay? And I don't want to call it programming, but I do think that women have been programmed to the point that sometimes they find themselves left exhausted and sick even before Christmas is over. So please, you women out there, you're beautiful. You're the caretakers. I understand that. You're the ones that bring love, peace, and joy to the family. I understand that. But understand you don't have to do everything. Make sure that you're just selfish enough to know your own needs so that you enjoy your Christmas and you're not overdoing things that you're anxious, exhausted, and you don't enjoy it, right? And I know that you get enjoyment from everybody else enjoying it, but this is where health comes in. You know what? I truly believe that if we loved ourselves enough, we wouldn't have sickness on this planet. But I understand that that's the game. We come down here and society systems and some religions and a lot of people, you know, they teach us. They teach us that we get our love from everyone else. Well, I don't look for my love from everyone else. Okay? I look and to fill my heart up completely and be the light and share that light of love that I have for myself. And yes, I want people to love me, you know, but I want them to love me not because I'm draining myself. I want them to love me because they see the light on me, they see the high vibration, they see the energy, and they would love to have it. So there's a difference, okay? I don't know why, but you know, in most families and most people, we believe that the more we struggle and the more we suffer, the greater we show our love. And there's no time like Christmas to really just blow that one out, eh? Because guess what? What happens, everybody? Tell me what happens to 8 out of 10 people by the time the middle of January to the middle of February comes. Well, colds, flus, fevers, diarrhea, and vomiting. How do you like it? Well, this is a vessel, and this is our God-given vessel, and what we're going to do is emotionally and nutritionally, or I should say food-wise, we're going to bring in lots of toxins emotionally and physically because we're not going to keep an eye on ourselves. You know, we're not going to love, honor, respect, and protect ourselves through this emotional part of the year. So it's really important that you take a look at that. Giving of yourself is fine, but don't give it all away. Make sure you keep energy so that your body can keep you healthy. Make sure that you don't get exhausted because when you're exhausted, you can hardly get a smile on your face, right? And then you can't show that love that you have for everyone, okay? So what I would suggest for some people is, you know, the best way to get through Christmas is to keep a slight smile on your face no matter what happens, and to also do the lion heart breathing. If you don't know what that is, it's where you take 6 seconds in and 7 seconds out. Because if you've got a slight smile on your face and you're taking 6 seconds in and 7 seconds out breath, you're in the present moment. And understand, that present moment makes you present. That's the gift you give yourself so that you keep in charge, you keep aware of what's going on in your life. Okay, and it also slows you down because there's too much to do, okay? Too many people to see, too many things, right? Too many things going on. So that breath is really going to help us connect to ourselves, okay? The other thing that we need to do, you might want to think about this is the time of year that you want to drink a lot of water. And if you have a structured water unit, all the better for you. Okay, but you want to drink a lot of water. Okay, so honestly, this is the time of year that you actually want to drink an extra quart of water, liter if you're in Canada or England or in Europe, and other places a quart. You want to drink an extra quart or an extra liter of water. Why? Well, because you're running around crazy, you're forgetting to eat right, and you're taking in more sugar, more flour products, and maybe even some alcohol. Now, understand all of these things, they cause dehydration, they also cause inflammation, which can lead to mutation. So, believe it or not, Christmas is one of the best times to create heart attacks, heart disease, strokes, and yes, even cancer and diabetes. And you heard what I said. Take a look up the statistics, and guess what? If you don't want to be a statistic, then don't do what the majority of the population does. And that's meaning looking to do everything for everyone so that you can show everyone that you're a great person. Well, like I said, make sure that you do enough for yourself and hold back a little bit, okay? All right? Because you know what? I'm going to ask you a question right now. How much love do you hold for yourself? Okay? Because that's a very important factor. All right? So the other thing is that as the days go on, things are going to get a little bit more hectic and you don't want to get exhausted. Really think about having the 20-minute nap, everyone. The 20-minute nap. So let's say around 1:30 to 3 o'clock, you just put your head down on your desk, or if you're at home, go lay down on the couch, close your eyes, or go lay in on the bed, just 20 minutes. Even set the alarm for that, okay? And the other thing that you can do in setting the alarm is I want you to do this. This is really important. Just put a really soft little ding on your phone. And guess what? Every half hour, this little ding goes off. It could be like a little chime, or it could be like a little singing bowl, or it could be like a little bird tweeting. But understand, every half hour that goes off, it says, that's your little reminder. Are you breathing? Are you in the present moment? Whatever you're doing, are you focused on that, or is your head somewhere else? Are you driving down the street like crazy? Okay. Are you rushing through the stores? Okay. Are you thinking all the things you didn't do? Just pull it back and relax. So you might want to put a little timer on your phone. Okay. All right. So understand something. That will help you to stop rushing around. Okay, because you're going to arrive, and we want to arrive alive and healthy. Okay, those two things are really important. Okay, all right, and those of you who are driving long distance, look, if it's Christmas time and you're trying to get there, or it's New Year's, remember something. If it's dark and it's snowing, pull over if you can't see. Make sure that you're doing things to protect your life, and nobody wants to see you get injured. So if you're tired, pull over and have a nap. Okay? Make sure you're drinking lots of water while you're traveling, because the water will actually keep you awake. And also, if you have to get out and pee every, let's say, 45 minutes, that's great. Get yourself some fresh air. Don't push it. It's okay if you're late, because guess what? Everybody wants to see you get there. Okay? And understand something. Learn to say no when you need to say no. Don't say yes to everything. Oh, I'm just going to be the greatest person this year. I'm going to say yes to everyone and yes about everything. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be laid up in bed sick, okay? And you're going to be exhausted. Say no when you need to say no. When you feel like there's no time left for you, or it's going to cut into that 20-minute nap, or it's going to cut into that regular routine. Look, if you exercise a little bit in the morning or a little bit at night, or you're doing certain things for yourself when it's not the holiday season, still do that. I'm going to tell you something. That is the art of loving oneself. When you still take the time to do the routine that you do when you're not having, everybody else is not going crazy and hectic. That's the art. That's the art of loving oneself, and I'm telling you that right now. I'm going to stick to my routine, and I promise I'll get it all done. The person that says I don't have enough time to get it done, they never get it done. And the person who says, I'll get done what's important, and I'll take the time for myself. Because when I take the time for myself, I'm balanced. I love my life more, and I love my family more, and I love everybody more. This will be a challenge. But you know what? You can do this. And what the heck? Give me one good reason why you shouldn't love yourself more so that you can love everybody else more. Did you ever notice when you were running around stressed out and you didn't have enough time? How did that feel to your wife or your husband or your children or your pets? Oh, yeah, even your pets, they'll pick it up. Okay? All right, so we're going to say no when we need to say no, and we're going to say yes to ourselves when we need to say yes, because we are going to honor ourselves this Christmas. And guess what? The best gift that you can give your family is to show them that it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to eat right during Christmas. It's okay to breathe, to take your time. Okay? So, as I said, where possible, you want to stick to your routine. Okay? Now, I don't know if most of you know about our fulvic humic products, but I will tell you, they're lifesavers. And I'm just going to go through a couple of things. And this is not, and I really want you to understand, this is not a sales pitch, but it can save your butt. Do you see the color of the water here? This is structured water, right? And, excuse me. And what I've got is I've got concentrated fulvic in it. And the fulvic is like black liquid, and you put it in. But what fulvic does, that fulvic actually will pick up 3 to 4 times its weight in acidity, heavy metals, okay, chemicals, GMOs, things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you're drinking lots of water and much more. And if you can put the fulvic in it, you're going to be so much better for that, okay? And also, if you have black gold powder, and you take that, it will go in, and it carries 60 to 70 minerals, nutrients. And if you put that in your blender drinks, you put that in your liquid or your soups, or you put it in water, stir it, and drink it, it goes through the digestive tract. And what it does the same thing, pick up heavy metals, chemicals, and things of that nature, and to make sure you don't get toxic. Remember, you won't get sick unless you're toxic, and on an emotional and a physical level. Like, I'm not going to get sick this Christmas. Like, one of my staff came in today, and I said, come on, guys, let's get close. We need to have a meeting. And he said to me, well, I don't want to come close to you, Darrell. I don't want to get you sick. And I said, you can come as close as you want. I'm not going to get sick. You can sneeze as much as you want. I'm not going to get sick. And I'm not going to get sick. You know, the person who believes they're going to get sick gets sick, right? And also, the person that doesn't honor themselves by eating and drinking high vibrational foods and drinks is going to get sick too. But you know why they're going to get sick? Because that person has sick thoughts about themselves. Because the only people that actually will drink a lot of alcohol, eat a lot of cookies, eat a lot of flour and sugar products and things that are toxic are people that have toxic beliefs. They may not know they have them, right? But think about it. How many people do you know actually make toxic decisions to put toxic things in their mouth or say toxic things, okay? And they know it's wrong, but they still do it. Well, that's because your beliefs rule you, fool you, school you. And that's why I keep telling everyone that, you know, you got to practice weaning out the dysfunctional beliefs in your life, or you're always going to be a train wreck, right? Okay? So anyways, we talked about the fulvic humic products, but there's also this, which I always carry with me, ATP for energy. Okay, this is the only organic ATP in the world, and it builds up testosterone in men and women. It also makes your mitochondria spin 1,500 times. It helps to decalcify them, and it helps to energize them, and it makes ATPase. Okay? So I'll be taking a lot of that through the Christmas time, but I do anyways. I take it like 3 to 5 times a day because it's not just for the energy it gives me, it's for the health that it gives me. Okay? It has life crystals in it, and you can go to our website and check that out if you want. All right? So here's the thing. So you know that regular routine that you do to stay well? You got to try, like I said, to keep on doing it. Like if you do light exercise or you have an exercise program, if you can't do it all and you did 20 minutes twice a day or 10 minutes twice a day, at least do 5 minutes twice a day. 5 minutes is not going to make a difference. Take the time to do some yoga stretching, or if you pray in the morning, Don't skip your prayers. And at night, don't skip your prayers. Don't skip your meditation. And if you, let's say you did a blender drink in your day, even though it's Christmas time, please do the blender drink. I do 2 blender drinks a day, right? So I'll still do these things, right? So, and if you do these things, you're going to be less likely to be putting in all these things that you're not going to wish you did, and your tummy's not going to like you for it. So, like I said, whatever routine was, if you did rebounding, then still do some. Do a little bit, just a little bit to remind yourself and let your body know that you love it. Keep showing little things about how you love your body so you don't destroy it, so that then we can go and give the pharmaceuticals all kind of money when we make ourselves really totally sick, okay? So if it's core twisting or rebounding or foam rolling or even just going for a walk, go for a nice walk. Make sure you're taking time for yourself, okay? Now here's one you want to watch out for, and that's emotional eating, okay? Emotional eating is, this is the time of year for that, isn't it? Okay, so Uncle Harry's coming over and I don't like him. You know what I mean? Stay connected to your breath and try to make healthy food choices. And the other thing is, if you get emotional about something, then guess what? Stick to the veggies. Stick to healthy starches. If you get emotional about something, don't eat something heavy like animal protein or chicken and then overeat that, because you have to understand something. You know how it's Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving, but now it's Christmas, so but even at Thanksgiving that just passed. But did you notice how after the meal you felt tired or you felt bloated? Well, that meant that even if the meal was organic, that it was actually rotting inside of you, because you can't overwork. If you overwork your digestive tract, you're not going to have enough enzymes to actually digest. So let's understand something. So as the older we get, the less stronger our hydrochloric acid is in our stomach. The older we get, the less pancreatic enzymes that we make to digest in our small intestine. So the hydrochloric acid is for the stomach, and then the pancreatic enzymes, they come in and digest the food in the small intestine. But as you get older, you have less of these. And if you have bad habits like smoking or drinking or prescription drugs, we know that that's down even a lot lower. So understand that if you feel tired after the meal, like I said, or you feel bloated after the meal, or you have a foggy head and I can't seem to think right, or you feel pressure up on your heart, you know that that food is rotting, okay? So try to eat less, okay? And drink more liquid. I mean, good liquids, right? So here's the deal. So when we sit down at the table, let's make sure that we're not bringing up any topics to the family that are emotional issues, because that'll just upset everybody. So let's not do that. It's not the right place to do it. And the other thing is this. If you feel emotional, you are not going to digest. So like I said, keep the lighting, keep the food light, okay? Don't overeat. And make sure that you food combine. Okay, so let's talk about that. So let's say I decided I was going to have meat of some sort. If I'm going to have meat of some sort, I could have meat, I could have a steamed vegetable, and I could have a salad. Now, if I'm going to have let's say I'm going to have yams and maybe rice, then I could have a steamed vegetable and a salad. So understand, we're not going to mix a protein and a starch together. That sits really heavy. Now, let's say you're going to do it anyway, okay? Let's say you're going to say, come on. So then what you're going to do is take a look at our Doc of Detox HCl. Remember what I told you about the hydrochloric acid that's in the stomach? Well, guess what? I'm a blood type A. I have trouble digesting animal protein. I really do. Blood type O's, they can eat nails. Blood type A's, every time we do something wrong, we feel the symptom right away. An O doesn't feel anything, but then they can wake up one day and go, oh my gosh, I went to the doctor and he says I have a fibroid or I have a tumor in my stomach, or that's a fact, okay? Because, see, O's think because they have a stronger hydrochloric acid and a better ability to digest food, they think they can eat more. Yeah, well, guess what? It'll come back and punch you right in the face, okay? So, Where was I? Okay, so we know that if you're going to have animal protein, we want to take HCl anyways if we're no longer a teenager. Once you start reaching into your 20s, did you never notice something? You can't eat 8 pieces of pizza. Okay, you can eat like 2 or 3 pieces and you already feel bloated. Okay, so that's the hydrochloric acids coming down, the digestive enzymes are coming down. That's the ability to digest. So I would suggest, if you could, is tell everybody who comes to your Christmas dinner, so everybody feels good afterwards, this is HCl, so if you're going to have any animal protein or you're going to miscombine the foods, I would take like of the HCl, if you're, let's say, around 20, take 2. If you're over 30, take 3, okay, of those. And then you will take those and then you'll eat your meal, start eating your meal. And then you would take, halfway through the meal, I would take, like we have a digestive enzyme that we call Digest Complete. And I would take like 6 or 8 of them. Now on the bottle, it says take 2. But the thing is this, they're just digestive enzymes. And you know what? How would you like to digest everything so you don't feel bloated and you don't feel sick? See, that's the problem. That's why most people, when they overeat and do these things, they can't digest the food. It's going to rot and putrefy inside them. That creates the bad bacteria. It creates a lower vibration. So that's when the fungus grows, the bacteria grows, the parasites move in. It's a parasite party. And then you're sick by the time middle of January or February comes and you're home with a fever because your body has to burn off the infection because you overloaded, right? Okay. Anyway, so you want a food combine. So, if you're going to eat fruit, you don't want to eat like fruit right after you eat protein or a starch, because fruit digests in 20 minutes, where a starch can take 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes, where animal protein can take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours or even 4 hours if you have a terrible digestive tract. Okay? Now, let's say that you're feeling really emotional, okay? And you're starting to feel acidic in your stomach. It's either from your emotions, or you ate way too many of those shortbread cookies, or you had too many drinks, okay? And so the alcohol, the sugar is just going at your stomach really bad, okay? Then what you can do is you can take like a level teaspoon of baking soda and mix that with a glass of water and then drink that down. And, drink it down easy. But, don't take too long to do it. But, drink it down steady. Maybe take about 5 minutes to drink it. And then you're going to find that you're either going to burp or you're going to, have gas out the back door. And if 15 minutes later you still feel like pressure on your heart, or you feel pressure in your arms and your veins and arteries, then do another half teaspoon of baking soda, okay? Because that is going to buffer down the acid inside of your body. You really don't want to have that. And this is a really great time of the year for heartburn and for migraine headaches, right? Okay, or even just headaches, period, which means that we could be lacking the water. So I'd look at the structured water, get like we talked earlier, and do the baking soda to alkaline you, all right? So the worst case scenario, if you did the baking soda too often, okay, what it's going to do is you might have looser stool. Well, it's a lot better to have looser stool than to sit there with heartburn or pressure on your chest, because then you're absolutely no fun to be with, and you don't want to ruin Christmas, do you? So, yeah. So think about that. And also, what I would do if I were you, you're going to find that there'll be some of you that will get diarrhea, okay? Because it's so inflamed in there that your bowel's going to go, get this out of here. And then there's going to be some of you that have a very sluggish bowel, knotted up, and you're just going to become really constipated. And for those people, I hope you've got our daily cleansing tea and our daily cleansing tea caps. So especially if you're on the road traveling, you'll want to get our daily cleansing tea caps. And what you want to do, okay, let's say you're flying, is you would take like 2 caps just before you fly. And then when you get there, you'd take 2 more of the caps, right? And that gets your bowel right on track, because you don't want to jam up jelly tight. Because anybody, when you feel constipated and you're staying somewhere else and you're off your routine, it feels like you got a cork up your butt, and it just throws you off your game. You know what? If you don't eat the right food and you don't have a good bowel movement, you're going to have a bad mood, right? And that's everyone. It's amazing. But I'll tell you right now, people actually will get into fights, and they'll even break up. I mean, people will actually even get divorced if they're too toxic. Yeah, toxic people are toxic people. You know what I mean? My grandmother used to say, "You know what, Darrell?" And I said, "What?" This is when I was young. She used to go, "People aren't grumpy; they're just constipated." And you know what? She wasn't too far wrong. Because we become constipated on a cell level, otherwise very toxic. And then that irritates the nervous system, lowers our energy. We get edgy. If somebody says something wrong. So make sure you understand something. One of the most inflammatory times of the year is Christmas. And how do you put out a fire? Well, you put it out with structured water and fulvic. So think about that, okay? And remain heart centered. And what do I mean by that? Well, I know you want things to be, you know, going well, but you parents, just know this. Kids get excited. Kids get a lot of sugar into them. They're bouncing off the walls. So guess what? Who made the cookies? Who bought all the candy canes? Okay? I mean, who brought the alcohol into the house? So understand something. Let's try to limit people because people do not understand limits. I mean, think about it. And I want to come back to this too. I mean, we could have such beautiful Christmas. We could have beautiful Christmas, beautiful holidays all the time. Um, but society doesn't limit anyone, do they? They'll punish you if you drink too much. But, really, when it all comes down to it, the government makes money off alcohol. Now our government is off marijuana. You know what I mean? Cigarettes. I mean, let's just put it this way. Yeah, whoever is the person that lives in the house, that is the head of the house, let's act like it. Okay? All right? At Christmas time, I'm not saying look, I don't have alcohol in my house. Okay? And I do at Christmas time, but we limit it. And we're also going to make sure nobody leaves. And everybody that knows that comes into my house that if they're going to drink, they're going to also think about, you know, loving themselves and everybody else there. Okay? And respecting themselves and everybody else there. But like I said, just make sure that, you're looking after your home. Whoever's the head of the home, make sure you're looking after it. And make sure that if you don't want people to get sick, then think about how much alcohol you put out, how much shortbread you put out, how much sugar you put out, okay, and flour products, all right? Okay. And the other thing is especially around Christmas time, it's called unconditional love for yourself and others. It's not the time to get into judgment, and it's not the time to hang on to guilt either, because it's just going to make you sick and it's going to throw everything off, right? So think about what you really want to handle. And if there's people in your family that you really don't get along with, well, don't invite them over. You heard what I said. And if there's someone inviting you over to their house, but you really don't want to go there, you can say no. Okay? I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. And I'm not going to have anybody come to my home that I feel that their vibration is going to disrupt, even if they're a relative. Well, that's just me. I mean, some of you are probably going right now, my God, he's so selfish. Well, no, you know what? It's not my job to change people, but it is my job that when people come to my home, that I have people that are coming over that are going to create that loving, beautiful atmosphere. All right? So that is my job. Okay? So, remember, you are the present. We're giving presents out, but the most important thing is stay present for yourself. Stay connected to your breath, okay? Be good to yourself this Christmas, okay? Give yourself the gift of peace of mind. Stay connected. Keep a slight smile on your face, okay? This is a time to feel grateful about everything. Even if you're feeling a little bit lonely or you feel like somebody was supposed to do something, don't let your mind take you down that road of judgment. Don't let your mind take you down there. And understand something. Yes, this time of the year, love is the answer. But let me tell you, self-love, it's the cure. And it's the cure because it will help you have a more non-toxic Christmas. Because when you love yourself enough, you'll protect yourself and respect yourself enough. All right? So our phone lines are open, and I don't expect a lot of people to be watching the show because they're busy getting ready and doing a lot of different things. So if we don't have any callers, then what I'm going to say is I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm going to be doing a New Year's show, and it's going to be Wednesday, January the 2nd at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 2019. And what it's going to be about is it's going to be about creating, okay, and having the most beautiful New Year. You know how we all make New Year's resolutions, how we're going to change this and that? Well, I'm going to give you and go through 12 gentle, loving steps so that you can honor yourself. And I'm going to give you what we call the perfect day from the minute you wake up on an emotional and physical level, nutritionally, exercise-wise, and emotionally. Okay? So if you want to join us then, please. And for any of you practitioners that are working with us, tomorrow we will be doing our New World practitioner training at 3 o'clock. I can't wait to see you there. And again, everyone, have a Merry Christmas and God bless everyone. Bye now.